What's good, guys? Ben here, and today I'm going to be doing a squad builder for you. This is what I brought to you guys last week. It's a little new series. What I'm doing is like the 1 to 5 mil squad evolving type thing. So basically what I do in this sort of series, I take a 1 mil team, which I recommend for you guys to use. And then I show you how I would upgrade it all the way to 5 mil. So I'll do a 1 mil team, 2 mil team, 3 mil team, 4 mil team, and 5 mil team, all in this video, and show you how I would progress the team once obviously you make that extra mil. Just a little insight as well. Every week I do try and change the team up, so it's a little bit more fun here and there. Try different players, so it's not always the same players. So for example, if I give you a 1 mil team, it's probably gonna be the same team constantly, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like the Varane, Gomez and stuff like that. But this time, every other week or whatever, I'm gonna try and bring you guys something a little bit different when it comes to the squad, like different players to use, which are gonna be still very good and effective to get some wins and foot champs, but also maybe just a little bit different and a little bit more unique to you. But yeah, before we get into it, subscribe if you're new around here, leave a like, leave a comment of your favorite team out of all these 5 mil teams. But yeah, let's get into the video. So yeah, as I mentioned, this is starting off with the 1 mil team, and then we'll get to like the 5 mil team over time. Don't worry about the chemistry. Once you've got everyone like change precision and the manager and the loyalty bonus, everyone's on 10 chem, apart from Rashford. Rashford would be on 7 chem with manager and loyalty, so that's not a problem. You can have a couple weak chem players in your team, so keep that in mind. But as you guys see, the 1 mil team we're starting off with, it's just a little bit different, a little bit more unique. As I said, usually I go with always like the Neuer and Gomez. I do recommend that if you are trying to be like the most meta and overpowered, but this team is more than good enough and it's still working to that meta and to get you more wins in weekend league. So in goal we got Neuer, 4 stars weak foot, 3-star skills, 1-star skill moves, 6'4", right footed, 87 diving, 87 handling, 91 kicking, 89 reflex, 86 position and 56 speed. Probably on stat wise, he might be like the low-key best looking keeper when it comes to stats, like on the card. He's really good in the game as well, obviously that helps. I think a lot of people will say like he's quite overpowered, but he's obviously super hard to link in if you're going to use Bundesliga, because a lot of people are going Varane, Gomez, like where you're going to fit Neuer in that. So yeah, I put Neuer in there, try something different. Let's get into the back line there. Wan-Bissaka at right back. I think he was in the team last week as well. As I said, I do try and change up a few things, but not guaranteed like the whole team's going to be changed, because some players you just need to get, well, not needs, you should just get into your team because they're going to be good. 6 foot, medium high, 4-star skill moves, 2-star weak for Wan-Bissaka, 86 pace, 68 passing, 80 dribble, 82 defending, 74 physical. Great card overall. Just a defensive rock really when it comes to your right back role. If you are playing narrow, some of you guys might have seen my cousin tactic the other, I think yesterday. I probably wouldn't recommend using Wan-Bissaka as that overlapping wing back, but if you want to play narrow, and as I said, when you play narrow, you've got to go all in attack with it, and you do need them going balance. So he wouldn't be the greatest of options, but he'll still do a job. You know, he's got 4-star skill miss, which is obviously a nice little bonus too. But obviously the beauty of what Wan-Bissaka does to us is to give us the link into the Prem with Man United, and then we can use that French link from Martial into Upamecano. 6'1", medium, 2-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot, 80 pace, 65 passing, 70 dribble, 83 defending, 84 physical. I think he's low-key a little bit expensive right now. What you could do is obviously go to the Inform Canute, and that would lower the price slightly, but this is still about 1 mil on the PlayStation. As I mentioned last week in both my squad builders, I was doing like the price of Xbox in these squad builders, but now I've got the PlayStation because I feel like, one, there might be a higher PlayStation base of people watching the video, but also if it's at 1 mil on PlayStation, it's going to be under 1 mil on Xbox. If it's 1 mil on Xbox, it's going to be over 1 mil on PlayStation. So it sort of made sense for me to aim at the PlayStation price. If that makes the case, you can obviously do some upgrades early if you're on Xbox, or do some better upgrades because obviously you've got more coins to work with. But yeah, Upamecano as one of the centre backs, I think he's a ridiculously good card this year. 80 pace is obviously a nice little bonus on him. And obviously the best thing about him, to be honest with you, is the link what he can give to the road to the final. Klosterman, 6'2", medium, 2-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot, 6'2", I don't know if I said that, 86 pace, 62 passing, 75 dribble, 85 defending, 80 physical. This card is crazy good. Ridiculously good on the ball as well for somebody who main stuff is his defending. 75 dribbling on the centre back is ridiculous. That's like don't even know. Like Ramos sort of like team of the year sort of gets like 80 something, don't he? And he's ridiculously good on the ball. That partnership of Upamecano and Klosterman though will last you for a long time. So, and obviously Klosterman can get some upgrades with Red Bull. I'm not sure what how well they're doing in the Champions League, but even if they get third place, they're going to Europa League. And if they go to Europa League, I feel like they'll get quite far in Europa League. So obviously that's a nice little progress. Onto the left back here, Alphonso Davies, 4-star skill miss, 4-star weak foot, high medium, 5'11", 96 pace, 67 shooting, 69 passing, 82 dribble, 76 defending, 76 physical. One player who could work brilliant in the 4-1-2-1-2 or the narrow formation, whatever you guys are using. Also can work in a 4-4-2 and a 4-2-3-1, but obviously he's quite nice attacking when it comes to it. Davis and Mendy are the best two left backs in the game. I think they're better than most of the icon cards, even like their standard goal cards. Obviously Davis has got the res of the final card. I'm not too sure if later on if we do upgrade to it, because I don't think it's really needed as much, but his goal card is more than good enough. That pace is obviously going to be super good for recovery. If you maybe be a little bit too aggressive with him or whatever it is, but Alphonso Davies comes in as that left back role. One of the midfielders is obviously Goretzka, 3-star skill miss, 4-star weak foot, high medium, 6'2", 78 pace, 78 shooting, 80 passing, 82 dribble, 77 defending, 82 physical. If you guys want me to show you how I would set this team up in after every price tag, let me know in the comments, because I can do that in future videos, but usually I just give you guys the team and then you guys can, you know, choose who you want where. But if you want my opinion of how I would set this up in game, let me know. The two of the midfielders, we've got Rashford. Well, obviously they're not playing the midfielder once we get into the game, but 6'1", high medium, 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, 91 pace, 83 shooting, 78 passing, 85 dribble, 78 physical. Ridiculously good this year in my opinion. One of the best cards for his price. I think he's about 200k, but that's because he's had the Rose of the Final card and the inform, so his price is a little bit higher than probably it could be. I could imagine it being like 130, 140, but he might maintain his like 180, 190 price because he is really good on this game. Definitely recommend looking to get him into your team. Obviously he comes with 5-star skills, which I say is way more important than 5-star weak for this year. And he's just ridiculously fast. You know, he's got a nice combination. He can play on the wing, he can play as striker. You can do it all when what you really want from one of them type of players. Martial, 89 pace, 83 shooting, 74 passing, 87 dribble, 72 physical. 6 foot medium, right footed, 4-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. Obviously with Martial he gives us the links obviously to Wan-Bissaka and Upamecano, which is a nice thing really when it comes to building this team. And that is, to be honest with you, the main reason he's in this team, because he gives us the link into Rashford, he gives us the link to Wan-Bissaka and Upamecano. He's good, but he's not crazy good, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like you could probably get better value out of somebody else, but because what he brings to us chemistry wise, he's like a vital for the team. Right wing role, we've got Lucas Moura. The main reason Lucas Moura's in, you could have any Premier League player who you want at your price, but Lucas Moura's in because we had to get somebody cheap to make sure it was about 1 mil when you build this team, obviously. 5'9", high medium, 4-star skill miss, 4-star weak foot, 92 pace, 78 shooting, 72 pass, 87 dribble. Just a pace merchant really. You just want to put him out wide because you've got players who can play through the middle. Play Lucas Moura as one of your wingers type players, and it'll be a good little option for you guys to have into your team. Mr. Sissoko, 6'2", high 3-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot, 78 pace, 77 passing, 78 dribble, 77 defending, and 89 physical. Just a great defensive midfielder, to be honest with you. I always say this, I basically call him the cheap Vieira at all times. You know, it's ridiculously good for you guys to have into your team. Super affordable as well, like I think it's like 20k. I might be wrong, but he might be right. And also he gives us the nice link into Son, who might be one of the key players really when it comes to this team this episode. And you'll see why at the end of the episode. You'll probably see it in the thumbnail. We eventually get his player of the month in. That's at the late end of the stage, but I'll talk to you about that when we get to that point. But yeah, we've got the gold son here, 6 foot high, 4-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot, 88 pace, 86 shooting, 80 pass, 87 dribble. Like I said about Rashford, he can play wing or striker, but you can also play that central cam role if you're looking for the 4-2-3-1. Obviously ridiculously good shooter. I mean, you know what Son does, it's literally nicknamed Sonaldo for a reason. Great finisher, does everything you need really when it comes to on your attackers when they're putting the ball into the back of the net. Right, onto the first upgrades what we make with the team. We have to change the formation into our 4-5-1, obviously just to get the chemistry right. Once again, if the chemistry says it's low at the top, don't worry about that. Once we're in game and everyone's, you know, in position with chemistry, right precision, loyalty, and so on, it's 100%, 100 chem. I do it on the foot bin just to double make sure before. So as you guys are seeing, I'm dropping a few players. As I mentioned, Lucas Moura is probably one of our weaker players when it came to this team. And that was just due to the price range sort of thing. You know, we just had to get him in. We took a little while on one of the wingers, but he's going to be more than good enough. Goretzka gets dropped. He's going to be ridiculously good for you no matter what. But I just think with the upgrades what we have here for the first 1 mil, it's definitely worth looking to maybe change Goretzka early on. And Sissoko, obviously he was there to give us a link to Sun, but he might make a reappearance later on in the video just because we have to budget our team slightly different. But coming in at first, we want to try and make our attack as elite as possible when we're hitting that 2 mil mark, and we are going to be doing the rule breaker. Douglas Costa obviously has that crazy upgrade to his shooting from 73 to 87, high medium left foot, 5-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot, 89 pace, 87 shooting, 81 pass, 92 dribble, and 62 physical. Great card to add into your team in that left mid spot. Obviously you probably use him as one of your wingers. He's going to be ridiculously good there. I've heard good things about his shooting, obviously, with the upgrades. Some people get these upgrades, but they don't feel as good as they probably should. But as you see, we dropped I just gave it away. Sissoko and Goretzka, and the main reason is that because we have a bit of budget and we want to obviously bring the elite of the elite players when it comes into midfield. So we're adding Kante. I think it's a little bit obvious why we bring in Kante, one of the best defensive-minded players in this game. He can also bring the ball forward fairly decent as well with his dribbling and passing, being 81 and 76, pace at 77, 86 defending and 82 physical, 6 foot medium high, right foot, 2-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. You know what Kante brings. It's exactly how he plays in real life. It's how he plays in FIFA. Ridiculously good at recovering the ball. And the same thing with Popper actually. Loki plays exactly how you would think he does in real life. Very lazy, but he's ridiculously good on the ball. He's so hard to push off. Obviously with the strength and stuff like that he's got. He obviously lacks the defending, but that's okay. As I always say, when you're playing a 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-1-2-1-2, whatever it is, you do want that one of your midfielders to be that more attacking guy, so you can bring the ball forward. If you have 2 defensive guys, sometimes it's a little bit stale. It's a little bit harder to build up because a lot of times you're just trying to get the ball to your front four rather than using your midfield to part of your build up, where it's super important to add that into your game. So Paul Popper's into the team, 6'3", high, medium, 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, 73 pace, 81 shooting, 86 pass, 85 dribble, 85 defending, 66 defending. Solid card to add into the team. So I think this comes up to about 1.95 for you guys, and obviously that was basically the main early on changes, is bring Kante and Pogba in and Costa, just so we have the now when I look at this team, there's no weakness apart from maybe Martial, but Martial is the next person we actually get out of the team. Let me just double check that on the pricing range, so I'm not messing you guys over. And this is where things get a little bit difficult. As I mentioned, obviously we're trying to get these like elite players into the team, but sometimes we're going to have to make an upgrade and then downgrade back to the original player, and this is what we have to do early on with this team. It really comes down to preference, who you want to drop. It's out of Kante and Pogba, and the person you're bringing back in is Moussa Sissoko. The main reason of this is because the person we're bringing in next for Martial, I'm going to show you who it is right now. He will be on 8 chem with loyalty and manager bonus, and that's, as I say, you can probably have a couple players, especially when it's the elite players, on like 7 chem or 8 chem. I use my CR7 for example on weak chem. And it's obviously Mbappe. This guy, obviously, as I mentioned, if he's in centre mid, he'll get full chemistry. Ridiculously good player for you guys. Probably one of the most elite players this year. Him, CR7 and Neymar are the top 3 gold cards for you guys to get into your team. So get Mbappe in. He's super fun to use. Obviously got the 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, high low, 5'10", 96 pace, 86 shooting, 78, 78 passing, 91 dribbles, 76 defending. I need to slow down, I think, when I say names, because it just goes all over the place. But yes, Mbappe, definitely worth bringing in, even if you have to, downgrade one of your players. And as I said, it's really up to you who you want to get rid of, Pogba or Kante. I feel a lot of people probably look to get rid of Pogba because of, Pogba, as I said, he's a little bit lazy at times. Maybe you could get away with using Sissoko as that guy driving the ball forward. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as Pogba on that sort of sense, but everything else is probably on par with him. But yeah, it's up to you. If you want to get Kante or you want to have Sissoko, it really, that's all comes down to preference really. But that is what I would do at the 3 mil mark. Up next is the 4 mil mark. Okay, so the next upgrade, slightly boring once again. It's only a couple players getting changed as that happens. You know, like that's the idea of building a team. You kind of only want to be upgrading it here and there a little bit, because you don't want to just have to keep changing. You know, keep upgrading constantly, because you're just going to be one, you would have to sell your team all the time. You lose tax, and you don't actually have as much money as you originally had. It's better to have like a 1 mil team. You're like, okay, from this team, I'm going to go to this team, I'm going to go to this team, and it's only a couple changes here, and then you only lose tax on a couple players rather than like your whole starting 11. And so the upgrade is actually Son, Player of the Month, but it's not allowing me to add him in. But yes, the next upgrade for the attack is Player of the Month, Son. And the main reason what we're doing really that is because at this point we're kind of waiting to get a little bit more extra money in, because we want to actually change Sissoko into Blanc. But if you're not really too bothered about Blanc and you're like, okay, Mbappe for me is fine on 8 chem, I can get away with that, I'm not too stressed about it. What you can do actually is use go into the Europa League Sissoko and then upgrade into your Son, Player of the Month. Or if you've got Makulia, what you can actually do is use Makulia as the right back, obviously the rule breaker card, and then use Son as the right mid, get striker Rashford, and then your chemistry's all fine really, apart from Mbappe. But yeah, that's an option what you could do. But I didn't want to say get Makulia if you don't have him into your team. But let's talk about Player of the Month Son real quick. As you know, I've gone over his base card. You know, 6 foot high, 4-star skirmish, 5-star weak foot. But this guy comes with 90 pace, 88 shooting, 84 pass, 89 dribble, 72 physical. I think he's coming in about 600k. My feeling, he's going to be ridiculously good for a few months for you. So if you want to invest 600k into a player and you like Son, you think he's great on the game, you like him out of game and stuff like that, he's going to play good for you, then do it. Like, he's going to perform for you in game for a while. You know, he's got the strength, he's got the pace, he's got ridiculously good shooting, good dribbling. He's everything you want in a striker / cam / winger, wherever you want to use him. So yeah, I recommend going with Son if you want to get him into your team. If you don't want to go with Player of the Month Son, obviously maybe this squad builder type thing isn't for you. Obviously, maybe go back to my last week episode, but this team sort of built around Player of the Month Son and Mbappe and stuff like that. So that is the upgrade I would do here. This leaves us with 400k extra to go to the I think like the 4 mil mark. So we'll just do the typical change of Walker for Wan-Bissaka. But as I said, if you got Makulia, low key, what you could do is obviously get the striker Rashford. Son would go here. Striker Rashford would be up top, obviously, and he'll be on full chem. And then Son will still be on 7 chem, like you was using as a striker. Makulia comes here as the strong link, and everything's perfect. But because Tottenham's not got like a meta right back as such, we're sort of stuck using Rashford out wide. But if you got Makulia, do that, because obviously 1, you save coins, 2, you can get better Rashford and more chemistry at 10. But yes, now we've got to the, I think it's like, this is, let me just double check on my computer, 3.655 this costs us. As I said, there's a few changes what you can do here and there, which is extra or change. And I gave you them sort of through the video. Let me just double check though, one of the final changes to the team. Yes, okay, so the final change to the team to make it the 5 mil mark, I think it was very obvious that we was eventually going to do it, was take out Sissoko, and you know, we've had enough with Mbappe 8 chem. It's time to get him on full chem, but as I said, it's not really too much of an issue. I know a lot of you guys like to have your full chem on most of your players if possible, so that's what we do. We bring in Laurent Blanc. He'll obviously, I just put him over on the left side, it doesn't make any difference, but what he'll do is obviously give us Mbappe the strong link, so Mbappe will now be on 10 chemistry. And that's it really. That's the only thing you really need to change when it comes to this team when we get to that 5 mil mark. Obviously from this point you're looking to probably just bring icons in, or if you're like, you know what, I'm bored of maybe using the same defense and keeper and stuff like that, you can obviously change that up to the typical Varane, Joe Gomez and stuff like that. But I think the core of this attack, where you've got Costa, Blanc, Mbappe, Kante, Son and Rashford for 5 mil, is obviously a ridiculous, like, it's super expensive, but also can be really good for you. I think at Player of the Month Son, as I said, it's worth looking to get in. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do it myself, but maybe you guys will see that in a future Foot Champs highlight whenever I do them. But yes, that'll be it for the video, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and peace.